see the Phillies last night?
I saw all the postseason baseball, but what I saw in Philadelphia was incredible. What if I were to deem him the new Rocky Balboa?
You can.
That was special.
So, Bryce Harper plays for the Phillies, and he hits 2 homers last night against the Braves. And it's got nothing to do with the Phillies. It's got to do with this guy, Bryce Harper. And, Goo, I don't even know where I want to go with this, but it was so cool.
Yeah.
Like, my first thought was, man, you want me to be a fan of a team? Give me a guy like this to root for.
Man.
So just take a listen to this. Again, it's just Phillies win Game 3. They just win Game 3 of a 5-game series.
I absolutely love this place, and there's nothing like coming into our ballpark and playing in front of these fans. I don't know. I absolutely love it. I enjoy it. I want to do everything I can to help this city win at every single level. And I'm so grateful to be able to play in front of all these people in this great city of Philadelphia.
Wow, man. That's what you call a connection, Steiny. He took his time where it was, normally all about him. And we see, thank the Lord, but you never really think the city. That was a perfect moment. I'm being real.
This is where,
that was perfect,
to
man.
me, there's so many avenues to go down with this one. It's incredible. One of the first avenue I go down is, you know what? Not every team can win the World Series. And the Phillies may lose the next 2 games. They may lose the next 2 games and Atlanta may advance. But that moment right there is never going away. That moment right there will catapult Bryce Harper and the city of Philadelphia's relationship for the entire second part of his career.
Even if they don't win a World Series.
Even if they don't win a World Series.
You know what?
This is...
Go ahead.
This is the kind of thing that some players think is better than a championship.
Wow.
I mean, obviously the guys who say that don't have a championship. But what I'm saying is, for example, in Philadelphia, Allen Iverson's a champion.
This hit me.
He's Allen Iverson is every bit a champion in Philadelphia as Julius Erving, Moses Malone, Andrew Toney, Mo Cheeks, etc.
Without a ring.
Without a ring.
Wow.
Do we have anybody like that in the Bay?
Before I answer your question, let me ask you why is Iverson look like held in that regard? Because that's amazing.
Because he's the exact same way as Bryce Harper. He's genuine. He loves the game. He plays hard as hell, and the fans have a connection to him. The fans in Philly and the fans in you just out here and watch Steph. When you watch a guy every single day and you see how they play, you can endear yourself to a city. And Allen Iverson did that in Philadelphia. And obviously Bryce Harper's doing that in Philadelphia. Question is does we had anything like that out here in the Bay? Anything like that? Now, Steph's got an incredible connection with the fans. There's no doubt about that.
And there's no wrong answer to all the athletes that are listening to maybe Steiny and Goo from 10 to 2, Steiny. So I think a lot of it, before I give you my first answer, is natural. It's got to be natural. You got to be yourself.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go Klay Thompson. And the reason I'm going Klay Thompson, because I'll get to why I went to Klay over Steph, and it's not a bad thing. Klay is who he is. He lets us in his world, and we love him for that. We love him for, I won't call it imperfections, not putting on a facade. Curry doesn't do that either, Steiny, but Curry's so great, it's almost like if you found something about Curry that bothered you, the good on the court and how spectacular he is would outweigh it. Klay is just that guy next door, your frat brother. So you might disagree, but to me, I believe the personality like Iverson had, I'm just a guy that wears my hard hat to work. I'm undersized, and I'm like the people that are everyday people walking around the city of Philadelphia. So to me, I think Klay Thompson would have that label for me.
Approach Diverging 013 on the YouTube chat.
I can't get in right now.
One guy
it's killing me.
that I have written down, because the other thing about the Harper thing, and I'm going to play it again now.
I absolutely love this place, and there's nothing like coming into our ballpark and playing in front of these fans. I want to get, I don't know, I absolutely love it. I enjoy it. I want to do everything I can to help this city win at every single level. And I'm so grateful to be able to play in front of all these people in this great city of Philadelphia.
See, the guy I thought of after hearing that in the Bay Area, I didn't think of Curry, because there's an emotion there. There's
what Bryce said.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
exactly. And the guy who I think of is Will Clark with the Giants. Will Clark back in the day had a relationship he played hard.
I'm mad at
I'm
you.
not saying they're on the same level or anything like that, but is there a Bay, like the way he proclaimed his love for where he played right there? Who we got like that?
And,
Evan was saying this, or I was saying to Evan, I'm like, do you think could it be kind of an East Coast, West Coast thing where the fans are just, they're more rabid on the East Coast, so can be a greater connection, whereas out here in the Bay, we're a little more laid back and chill, if you will.
No, but we know how to love. We know how to appreciate. I'm talking about the fan base out here. What about George Kittle?
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
But because he's being himself, right?
Exactly. And that's a big part of it. That's a huge part of it. But what I'm getting at is just that, like,
he took his moment to point out his city.
Like, if you're in Philly right now,
oh man, Steiny.
I mean, this is about as enjoyable a day as it gets. I mean, you got one of the best players in the league, and he loves to play in Philadelphia. And when you got a team or players that love the city, and you know what? Here's the other thing about that. When I was listening to Bryce Harper, Warrior fans will acknowledge this too, because I usually gloss over this, but okay, I get it. I get it with the big three. You don't want to see him go. I get it. If you want to keep him around for 2 or 3 or 4 more years,
and they don't want to go, Steiny.
That's why, right there.
All right, I
what
love
Bryce
you for that.
Harper said,
and that's why Draymond took 25 for 100. Clay made his comments that he wants to be a Warrior forever.
We can get into that. I'm not sure that was a discount for Draymond. I don't know that he could have gotten more.
Well, he said
else.
He had something hefty.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And you know what? I got a job waiting for me in New York for 4 times as much money.
You better be careful. Yeah.
Jay's in the Bay Area. What's up, Jay? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up, man?
A couple of Bay Area legends that I thought of that kind of fit this category. He didn't quite have the same type of like speech or maybe personality as Harper does, but I think of Bonds. He just cemented himself into like Bay Area legendary status without winning a ring. And maybe for me, a little more personal, baseball as well, as Jason Giambi. I really enjoyed watching him as a kid, and enjoyable player to watch. I mean, kind of sets the example of who I wanted to play like.
That's what it's all about, man. Appreciate the call. Text line, Comcast Business, 510. Jerry Rice for sure has that connection with the Bay. His name came up before the show. And we determined, but the one thing I will acknowledge about Rice is he seemed to have really made an effort after his career's over to stay engaged with the community.
Which is not bad, but we're talking about in the meantime.
Barry Bonds.
Oh, please. That's my favorite baseball player of all time. Him and Ricky Henderson. Steiny, he was I would call him a red ass, but he's black. But come on, man. He rubbed half the people the wrong way, right? He treated people. Bryce is telling reporters before this great moment last night, I don't have anything to hide. I'm a real athlete. I was riding around listening to Steiny and Guru and Leroy from Oakland call. Like, he's that guy. So I'm just saying Barry never did that. I don't believe. And a lot of athletes don't even admit that they listen to the sport talk show. So, again, he wouldn't get my vote.
No, I don't. I mean, Will Clark had a much bigger connection to the fans, I think, than Bonds.
But I don't know if Will was ever accepting. Like, was he that open like Bryce was?
No.
I know he played hard and gave you everything, Will the Thrill, but I don't know if he was that open, and that's what hit me last night. Like, damn. And now you saying what you said about Iverson, you're right. Iverson has no rings, but I'm stealing from Evan. He said this, almost teared up, thug tears, the people's champ.
Harrison is in Tiburon. What's up, Harrison? How you doing, man?
Not too bad. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, man.
Hey, so I don't want to kick a guy when he's down, but I was wondering, Guru, how about them boys?
Yeah, they got their ass kicked, buddy.
Yeah, I was the guy on Friday you saw over at the pub for a little bit.
Oh, man. Hey, you look kind of like you were ready. You were about that life. I got up out of there. You remember that, Steiny? Yeah.
I didn't even know it was you until you guys started talking, but I saw the blue and I had a visceral reaction.
Hey, it was a pleasure meeting you, buddy.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Harrison, your connection's we're losing your connection, but
you remember that,
good
Steiny?
Yeah, I remember.
You loved it. He's the guy you grabbed my phone, turned my phone on, and showed the whole bar. I had the star on it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm mad at you thinking about it now.
Why? Because you wanted you wanted to be the center of attention, and you were.
I'm gonna give you a 1.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I can't believe you got caught up in that moment like I did, man. It was
What moment?
Bryce Harper.
Oh yeah,
those majestic home runs. Damn.
You know what's funny is I'm with Evan yesterday. We went out. It's a fun time. With Evan. And I was just talking about Bryce Harper. The game, he hadn't homered yet, and I said, "Tell me Bryce Harper didn't make the right decision going to Philly." I mean, just tell me.
I mean, I won't even touch it with a 10-foot pole.
So
that's a match made in heaven, brother.
A lot of Barry Bonds. To me, he's a little like Draymond Green. He's a little bit polarizing.
I'm going past Draymond because I don't think Barry gave back enough to the people that loved him. I'm talking about the fans verbally as much as what we're hearing from Bryce Harper. I could be wrong, but the Barry I know, Steiny, he kept to himself a majority of it.
The other thing is, when did Bryce Harper get to Philly? 19?
18, 19.
So he's been there 4 or 5 years.
And they've been,
4 or 5 years, and God, I'm trying to think if anybody, Durant got here as a free agent, but he didn't really capture it like that. Gosh, I'm just racking my brain.
I like the kid on
Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence? It's not a bad one. That's not a bad one at all, actually.
I like that one.
That's not bad. CJ's in the city. What's up, CJ? How you doing, man?
What's up, Steiny? What's up, Google?
Hey.
Guys, good morning. It's a great day out here in the city. The Dodgers lost. The Houston Astros are advancing. And, it's got me thinking like, hey, the D-backs beat the Dodgers. The D-backs were not even in playoff contention come All-Star break time. The D-backs turned everything around and beat the Dodgers. Like, I couldn't let that sink in, and it's got me thinking, is that the formula? Like, do you just need to be a 500 team with a couple of sprinkle-ins, a couple of veterans? You don't need a star-studded all-star lineup like the Dodgers got. I mean, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman went like 1 for what? So is that the formula? Like, do you just need a 500 team, make it to the playoffs, have a couple players that have some experience, and see where it goes?
Yeah, you know what, CJ, thanks for the call. That's what the Giants tried this year.
Boy.
That's what the Giants tried. Steiny, you can't ask us your opinion, then disagree. Well, I can not disagree with anything. This is what we talk about.
Well,
Baron Davis.
Wow.
Baron Davis is a good one.
I think there can be non-megastar local legends, not on Bryce Harper status. Like, for example, last year there was a story from the Padres after they beat the Dodgers, in fact, that Will Myers went into the gas lamp district and just bought drinks for every single Padres fan. He just bar hopped the entire night and just bought drinks for everyone. And he played 77 games. He's like an average player, but he was with the Padres for 8 years, and that guy's a local legend in San Diego because of that night.
You know what's interesting is hopefully we'll have this guest later, and he fits the bill for exactly what we're talking about. And that's Joe Thomas, former Cleveland Brown offensive lineman, one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time. He never played in a playoff game. He never has to buy a drink in Cleveland, ever.
That's amazing. As good as he mastered his craft and never got to play in the postseason.
Didn't miss a game till his final season.
What about Evan got me thinking about We Believe, that whole team. Didn't that captivate they were underdogs, and to this day we're waiting on the doc for Matt Barnes and company. Maybe We Believe. And to Evan's point about that was an act he did after the game, which, this moment last night hit us all different ways. And I got to my lead with it is, as he was talking, we usually hear, I want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ or God, and that's fine with that. That he used that to talk about his connection to the city. That I don't believe I've ever seen before or heard.
I'm trying to think. Philmo Mike.
Mike.
What's up, Philmo? How you doing, man?
Hey, Guru, you better be careful talking about Jesus and downplaying that part. That's very important. But anyway, man, let me game y'all, man, real quick. This is a beautiful subject. I could tell Steiny came up with this subject. But on some real talk, man, you got to remember Monte Ellis, Jay Rich. If Baron Davis would have signed and not went to the Clippers, he could have possibly had that opportunity, but he was also on the decline.
Yes.
Bryce Harper had a chance to do it on the kind of like on the incline where you got him at the kind of like the right moment. Now, everybody's saying Barry Bonds, Steiny, because when Barry Bonds got to the Giants, everybody knows Barry Bonds is arrogant or very confident. He believes in himself, right? But when we won that championship or that pennant back in 96, 97 off the Rob Johnson home run, and he ran around the stadium, he started from that moment to kind of change his perception within the San Francisco Giants fan base. We don't care about the national media and the narrative. Sometimes I call Bill Mahler at night, and I mess with them because they from L.A., and I be like, man, Barry Bonds the greatest player ever. You feel me? And I just get on their line because we love Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds said, man, his connection with his grandfather, he's been here. We don't care about the alleged steroid usage.
All right.
Black on black crime for Mike.
Appreciate it, Mike. The way my perception is of Bonds is when you talk about a connection with the fans.
Got to be a two-way street.
It feels like other guys come to mind. But
he's my favorite baseball player of all time. Mike said we loved him. I don't feel like it was reciprocated, Steiny, for Barry.
Wait, Bonds is your favorite player?
Baseball player of all time.
I thought Roberto Clemente was your favorite baseball player.
Well, guys that I've seen.
Oh, gotcha.
Little jackass. Now you're turning him into one, huh? Fillmore Mike. And the boss came up with the subject, Mike.
Yeah, that
wasn't ass.
It wasn't my subject. In fact,
always the brother on the show. He gonna come at me and then kiss the guy's ass. Shame on you, Mike.
Yeah, it was Nahegans. So, yeah, anybody out there that thinks I'm talking about it just because it's Philadelphia can kiss my ass, too.
Oh, boy.
I had a whole nother subject I was going to put Guru on the spot about. Oh,
you got that spell over, Mike.
A couple.
Every time.
A couple good ones here. Tim Lincecum. That's a good one. Now, that's a good one.
Those are great. I just don't.
What's your problem?
Remember Tim doing
Let
what
Timmy
Bryce did.
smoke.
Oh, well, no. That's all great. I'm talking about what Bryce was like 70-30 last night. Bonds got dressed by himself. Okay, that's the teammates.
No, I got you. Harper was in a league.
Barry, if he robbed Bank of America, I still love Barry Bonds. That's how good he was. We're talking about Barry just going out his way to show love to the fans, and I think that's a regret he has.
I think you might be right about that.